Hmm. Being live streamed, is it?
Mm. Hopefully, I remember my lines.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. We have an exclusive webinar with the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, and we have Mr. Andrew and Mr. Sebastian over here with us. Today's webinar, as always, will go on for 1 hour. In the first half, we will discuss about the university, and then we'll move on to the Q&A session where you'll be typing your answers and we'll be helping you answer them. And thank you all once again for joining. Over to you, Mr. Andrew and Mr. Sebastian.
Brilliant. Thanks very much indeed. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sebastian Courage, and I am the Vice President of Recruitment, Global Recruitment, for this very exciting US Pathway Medical School with Western Atlantic, dual degree program with Western Atlantic. And so today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the university. But before I do that, it's always nice to do a little bit of interaction with everybody and get some of you typing away. There's a little chat function you'll find at the bottom of your screen that says chat next to the participants. And we're going to do a little, as I said, a little bit of interaction. With me today is Andrew, Mr. Andrew here. He is the regional director of the Middle East and North Africa and India for our medical school. So he and our team are here to sort of answer questions for you and everything like that. But before we go into the medical school, medicine's all about outcome. All right. You go to medical school because you want to be a doctor. It's a little bit like law. It's a little bit like engineering. You know, when you go and study law, engineering, and medicine, your end goal is to get yourself into that profession. And having done medical admissions and worked for UK universities, for Caribbean universities, for Australian universities, all over the world, I've done medical admission for 25 years or 20 years. And in that time, I've lived pretty much mostly in the UAE, in the United Arab Emirates, and spoken to thousands and thousands and thousands of students, families, parents, and everything like that. And it amazes me how little information there is about medicine and the correct information. So before I even show you the medical school, and look, my medical school might not be the right medical school for you, I don't know. But it's all about outcome, what specialty you want to do, where you want to end up practicing medicine. It's not the medical school you choose, it is where you want to practice medicine, which is where you should start your journey when you're asking yourself, which medical school am I going to go to? It is also important to get multiple applications. Dr. Kadri and Kadri International have a very, very well established organization and education consultants specializing in medicine in the region. I've known them for a very, very long time. Fantastic, have a lot of great options. And this is obviously one of the options that they have. Dependent on your outcome is where you should choose to go. So my first question before I show you the medical school, and we're going to do a little bit of research together. So Anne, Basma, Hamza, Hashini, Jabin, Noor, Rash, Sultan, and Adali, why don't you all pop in the chat? What specialty do you want to do? Number one. That's the first question. So please all type in the chat what specialty you would like to do. And number two, where would you like to practice medicine? So come on, let's do that little exercise. The chat is here. then I'll know if you're all listening. Do we have a chat yet? We do not.
That's
Hello,
going to Q&A.
chat. Is it coming? Anything chatting? Come on, guys.
Okay, so it's in the question answer, my friend.
Sorry.
So we
Give me some
have
answers.
endocrinology in the US
Love it.
from Basma.
Nice, Basma. What else?
I'm just hopeful. Anna's mentioned that the chat is disabled. So,
Oh, is it?
yes, it is. Yes, I think it was only been enabled after the Q&A part of the session. So everyone can use the Q&A box. That's not a problem at all.
Oh, use the Q&A box. Endocrinology, ENT. Rash,
go.
what did you want to do ENT?
Hey, look, I'm always happy
You know?
for more ENTs, brother.
Okay. We need some ENT. Okay. All right. So the reason why I'm asking you specialties, neurology. Okay, Anne, fantastic. Great, great, great. Super specialty. And guys, what country do you think is the best healthcare system? I mean, what country do you think you're going to get your best opportunity to go and become a doctor in? Because the reason I'm asking this is it's kind of an open-ended question. Why is over my years and years and years and years and years of doing this medicine, certainly in the Middle East, and throughout India and Pakistan and everywhere like that, most people are very, very tunnel visioned towards my country. And my country, I've got a British accent, is the UK, and everybody thinks that the UK is one of the best places to go because it's got history, it's got I don't know, an affiliation to people thinking that the UK is by far the best place to go. But in fact, it's probably one of the worst at the moment, which sounds a bit odd. And I'm going to just show you a bit of research before I show you before I show you the actual program itself. So I'm going to share something which, when I was all your age, it never existed, and that's called ChatGPT. Okay, and you can ask ChatGPT an amazing amount of questions, and they can tell you these answers. So, for example, what did we see? Give me a specialty. ENT, emergency medicine, right?
Yeah, neurology was in there as well.
I can't spell endocrinology. That's why I'm going to do emergency medicine. Okay.
I do ENT if that was
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Let's do UK, Australia, US to show you, which is what a lot, or Canada. Let's do, forget Australia. Let's do Canada, US, UK. So you go to medical school, and if you're going to the UK, you're going to pay probably upwards of about 60 to 70,000 pounds per year to get to medical school. And that's including tuition, accommodation, food, flights, all of that. And going that route, you're going to spend a lot of money and you get to go and do an MBBS. Okay, those of you who want emergency medicine, let's say, and you chose the UK, what you wanted to do is this. How many training, not typing. How many training positions for emergency medicine is in the UK? Let's have a look. I don't know. I've never done it. Let's try it. But what I will know that it's not that many, right? S4 posts in 2025, very limited. 75 posts UK wide per year of a country of 70 million people. Not that many, right? And then difficult, right? I mean, why? Why are there not that many training positions available in the UK for a country of 70 million people? The reason for it being is the UK has a government-funded healthcare system. and they have limited training positions for people to go through. Now, if I put family medicine GP, you'd get hundreds, if not thousands. Okay. But when you look for a specialty which is strong, it's tricky. I can't spell endocrinologist. I
Oh,
can't.
no.
But let's do. A lot of people put cardiology. That's one. Okay, you ask cardiology how many training positions there are, which a lot of people want to do, right? So look at that, it's 140 cardiologists per year only training position. So it's very, very competitive. All right, now if I change the question to the USA, the numbers will be probably in the thousands. Okay, so you're going 10, 20 times more opportunity there is in the US. A lot of people say to me over the years, they've said Canada. Let's have a look in Canada. Whoa. Even less than the UK, right? So this is the difference. Government-funded healthcare system versus privately funded healthcare system. And also, obviously, with the government taper what position you could do. So if you're in Australia, in Canada, in the UK, you're very, very much tapered by what the government positions are available, right? Because you have to get licensed, you can then go into private practice, but your training is all government training. The US is all private training, right? And the volume in the US is exceptionally higher, coupled with salary. In Canada, this is, by the way, because that's where I've gone, the US and Canada. Oh, there we go. That's going to do it. Basic salary. Cardiologist salary is about 70 to 75,000 pounds a year, right? Take off 50% tax, by the way. What's the US? Whoops. All right, it's a little bit better. And that's just during their training, they're making more than during the training in the US, they're making more than what a UK doctor would, right? It's nuts. Canada, government. It's still better salaries in Canada. Obviously, the US and the Canadian dollar is good. So the place to go is the US. If you want to come back to Dubai, and if any of you guys are on the call from Dubai, I'm sure some of you are because that's where Kadri is. Maybe all of you are. I don't know. You will notice when you go into, let's say, MedClinic or any of these, places that we have here, you'll notice that they have the business cards. All of them on the decent specialties are US trained. Okay, so getting a US board certified doctor opens up the whole world for you. Now, all you've got to do is you've got to figure out how to get yourself US board certified, because that's where you're going to get your neurologies. That's where you're going to get your endocrinologists. That's where you're going to get your super specialties and good specialties. In the UK, in Canada, Australia, rest of the world, it's limited unless just because supply is here and demand is here. In the US, you have the supply is here as well. But, obviously the problem is everybody knows that majority of the time, if you're going on a US route, you have a very long journey out of high school, right? So you've got to do this 4-year bachelor's degree. You've got to take the MCAT. And then the MCAT is fine as long as you do a bachelor's degree in the US because they train you for it. But doing an MCAT outside of the US, if you're not trained for it, is very difficult. And then only, I think, in Canada, there's maybe 3 universities, that take international students. The US, you have about a 0.01% chance of getting a seat, which brings me on to basically why Dr. Kadri and Kadri International have invited me to talk to you about the program today, is because finally America has realized that they're very short of doctors, and they know that there are a lot of fantastic students that are out there in the marketplace that are doing a stronger curriculum than the US domestic high school curriculum. A lot of you will be doing A levels, a lot of you will be doing CBSE, maybe some of you will be doing IB, maybe some of you are even doing the US high school curriculum here in the region. But that is much stronger than the domestic. The international US high school diploma is a much, much stronger curriculum than because you don't do as many subjects. So the US has said, right, we've got these programs, and there are, and I'm going to go on to my presentation now. I'm technically challenged, so bear with me. Can you see this? Please say yes, no.
Yep, that's live for me. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. So it brings me on to nicely is Western Atlantic University School of Medicine in East Florida. And East Florida is actually in the sea. I will show you a map in a minute. Has gone into partnership with 7 universities in the United States to get a dual degree program. And it is a bachelor's degree and an MD degree in 6 years. Okay, and it is for good, strong, graded students. The university has 250 seats. There are still seats left for September if any of you are in grade 12 now. And they have these universities. Oops, let's see, let's go. Okay. There is Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, which is in New York, upstate New York, not far from Niagara Falls. There is Caldwell University in New Jersey, Manhattanville University, Goucher College, University of West Virginia Wesleyan, and Canisius University in Buffalo, New York, very, about an hour's drive from Toronto. Okay. These 6 universities, have got a dual degree program. Okay, so no longer do you have to do what I spoke about before. No longer do you have to come out of high school, take the bachelor's degree, take the MCAT, reapply for a 4-year MD degree. As long as you've got the good grades, which I'm sure you will, then you are eligible to apply for our program and come into a direct 6-year program. Okay, the program looks like this. All right, so you'll come in after high school. If anyone's on here that actually happens to have a bachelor's degree, you do a 4-year program. But I'm pretty sure the majority, if not all of you, are in high school or soon to be out of high school. And you would come in on an I-20 visa into America at any one of those 6 universities. And you would do year 1, year 2, and the first term of year 3 in the US at whatever the university you choose. If you guys are my children, with my knowledge, I would tell you go to Albany or go to Canisius University or go to Virginia Wesleyan. Why? Because they have the best research, and research is very important for when you go for residency. Okay, so you do year 1, year 2, year 3, first term in the US. In the January term of the 3rd year, when it gets cold in America up north, you then go down to Florida, Fort Lauderdale, and you jump over on a 20-minute flight and you get to the Grand Bahama, where you go to Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, okay, which you spend the remaining semester there. You do 1 more year at Western Atlantic. At the end of the 3rd year, you will be awarded a bachelor's of biomedical science or biology or chemistry, dependent on the partner, from the US university that you started in. And then at the end of this 4th year, you will take step 1 of the USMLE, step 1. Okay. For those of you who don't know, 2022, the USMLE changed its scoring system, step 1. from a scoring system out of 200 to 300 points to just a pass or a fail. Okay. And step one, everybody takes, and everybody either passes it or fails it. You have to pass it to go into the clinicals. Okay. And then the clinical years are back in America. We have teaching hospitals dotted all over the states, New York, California, Texas, Florida, everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but in a number of states. And this year is where you figure out what specialty you are. So those of you who didn't type your specialty, maybe you don't know what you want to do, or you're asleep. And you would do what we call the 7 core clerkships in this 5th year in hospitals. Okay, the 7 core clerkships are family medicine, emergency medicine, internal medicine, gynecology, obstetrics, psychology, surgery, and pediatrics. Okay, once you've done those, and they're in 12 to 4-week blocks, like surgery, for example, is a 12-week rotation. Family medicine, like GP, that's a 4-week rotation. Okay, then you take step 2 of the USMLE. Now, you can also, if you want, take what is called the OSCE and the MCQE. What are they? Never heard of them, maybe. They are the Canadian licensing exams. Okay, we're probably one of the only, if not the only, I might be wrong, I don't know, but I haven't heard one in all my years of doing it, where you have an option where you can take the USMLE or the OSCE MCQE, or you could do both if you want. And then once you pass those, your final year are what we call your elective years. And those elective years, you elect which specialty you would like to do. Okay. And that would be, for those of you who want neurology, you can do a neurology. Those of you who want endocrinology, you can do endocrinology. You know, you just narrow it down. But I will tell you this, out of my 20-odd years of doing this, and I should think Dr. Kadji will tell you the same thing out of the years he's been doing this, what somebody says now what they want to do and what they actually end up doing is usually completely different. Because when you get into the actual hands-on clinical experience and you're actually doing it with doctors in a hospital setting, you might not like blood. You might not like all sorts of things. If you want to be a pediatrician, you might not be able to look at sick babies and with limbs hanging off and all of that. You might not be able to do it. So keep your mind open, and this last year, you will then figure out what you want to do. Okay? And then you get a MD degree and go into residency. Okay? And residency is where you just saw on ChatGPT, where you're going to make $85,000 to $150,000 a year, depending on your specialty, which is more than a qualified doctor in the UK. Nuts, right? Nuts. Anyway, so bachelor's, MD, 6 years. All right. Now I've got a video that I'm going to show you. It's going to be the Bahamian campus, the Western Atlantic first, and then I'll show you, I think this presentation has Albany on it. I'll show you Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. So you can see the US campus, or one of the US campus, and the Western Atlantic one. And then I will show you how to get residency. I'll show you fees. I'll show you acceptance rates, pass rates, accreditations, and everything like that in a sec. But here is the video.
Today was an awesome, immersive experience. From the very beginning, it felt like a very personal experience. It really resurfaced my love for medicine, and I'm very excited to actually put that in practice and get started on my MD career.
It's awesome. We got to see it all over Freeport.
I think it's nice, it's beautiful, it's big. It seems to be kind of a well-situated place.
I'm looking forward to see the campus, and not only that, to talk to the faculty, to the students.
We see so much of the school online, and you can look on social media, but there's really nothing as true as being able to come to the school and really experience it and get to see the town.
We saw Awesome and met some great faculty, and it was just an awesome experience.
I'm looking forward to the immersive experience of sitting down with students and hearing a lecture.
I'm most excited about seeing the campus.
I mean, the campus was just
really nice. And I think I was expecting a lot more anxious feelings, I guess, but I was very surprised by how peaceful everything was. And, the island really is a great place to study.
Actually seeing a very interactive model right now. It's like the way he blinks, the way he talks. It's pretty cool, amazing. I mean, I don't know what to say.
That, like, if I could do that every day, like, I think I'd be like the greatest doctor. Like just because of that type of practice, like that's perfect hands-on. So I love this.
I think what stands out the most is the quality of the people that were here. Everyone's really nice. Everyone's very focused on seeing your needs. Everyone's genuine. It's a great place.
Now visiting the campus, it goes to show that it's not just in the interview process, it's not just before, it's very clear that every student is cared about. You're not a number at this school. And that's what I'm looking for in my medical school experience.
Being able to meet the current students and see how excited they were about the school and not really having anything negative to say, even though they were given the opportunity to really express what they thought. They truly believe that this is a great medical experience.
I'm very excited to even start with the studies and the classes, see how everything is, because everyone, it just seems like a very good community, very friendly. Sometimes you worry about coming to a new school, maybe coming far from home. There's definitely concerns there, but from other medical schools that I've even seen stateside, this school has even higher tech things to learn from.
On this tour, really seeing how the island is. I'm from like the Los Angeles area, so everything is pretty much big there. City life and stuff like that, and I just wanted to get a different feel for how the island was.
I really enjoyed kind of just the hometown feel, and everybody kind of felt like a family, and that's really reassuring when you're leaving your own family that you love so much.
And it was very engaging.
Whenever I was in the classroom, it was like the class was just a one-on-one with between the teacher and the students, and they were just having a conversation, and the way they did everything just really amazed me. And beautiful weather, beautiful beaches, beautiful everything.
Seemed like a very nice environment.
I really want more out of my med school experience, and I know Wasam's going to give that to me.
Et voila. So a couple of points on that video. You'll notice that a lot of the students said how the learning style is different. Okay. We have a program where all of our faculty and all of our staff, and you'll quite happily go on ChatGPT and ask them to tell you who the faculty and staff are, they're top professors. They have put 25,000 doctors into residency, into the US and into Canada combined over their teaching period. They might not have all done it with us because we haven't been going since the last 25 years, but they have been teaching for the last 20, 25 years, and they have put thousands of doctors in it. So it's very, very, very small classroom sizes. It's classroom sizes maximum 1 to 5. We've got about 630 medical students. We've got about 1,000 faculty and staff. So the classroom sizes are very, very small. And I'm going to show you the USMLE Step 1, USMLE Step 2, and residency maturation a little bit shortly. But the reason why it is, in fact, it sounds like too good to be true. It's hard to get into the university, but if you get in, you'll get through it. Is because we do something called reverse engineering of the program. Now, most medical schools are very large or big, or if you're doing a bachelor's or something like that, and you're thrown into lectures, okay? We do, the difference is we do very small classroom sizes, but each student is sent the class that they are going to do 24 hours before the class is being done. Then you will study the materials of what is happening in the class the following day or the day after. And then during the class, in a very small environment, you are discussing the class and the questions and everything like that. What that does is it really, really helps students understand the medical terminologies, whether it's anatomy or whatever it may be. And this is why our success rate is a little bit unusually high. Okay. Let's show you the other video. The other video is, this is an Albany one, I think. Let me check. Yeah, it is. Okay. This is what Albany is, typical US college. This is where you spend the first, if you choose Albany, this is where you can spend the first borderline 2.5 years. Here we go.
My name is Michaela. I'm a fifth year at Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences.
My name is Brian Sherwood. I'm a P2 or fourth year in the Doctor of Pharmacy program.
My name is Edward, third year public health major in a joint degree with Albany Law School.
Participating in the joint degree program really offers an opportunity to research as early as first year.
And ACPHS makes you go out on rotations.
You take what you've learned here at school and you apply them out in the real world setting.
Faculty, they just know you on a personal level.
My current advisor is a professor I've had in class. He goes above and beyond to make sure he's going right personally.
They prioritize the fact that you're a student before an athlete. If it comes down to a game versus a test, they accommodate. My friends at ACPHS are phenomenal. Being in a small group lets friendships like that foster.
We're a tight-knit community. Everyone is there for each other. Health sciences are so important in the world today because we all need to be healthy, and science is the one common factor that can help you with that. Everyone needs to be provided for, and here at ACPHS, we create those healthcare providers.
This is a time where you can put your best foot forward. It really allows you to experience way more than you ever have in earlier educational aspects.
Grow as an individual, become that leader, become who you are, and what you'll be.
Good. All right. So that's Albany. Very happy to share with you all the other ones. I'm sure I'll leave my number at the end and you can WhatsApp me or get in touch with Dr. Kadri, either or. So where is Western Atlantic? Here it is. Let's make it a bit bigger. All right. Western Atlantic is there. All right. Miami is here. Fort Lauderdale is there. Boca Raton. 20 minutes. There's US concert, embassies, everything like that. It's literally just off the coast, okay? But it's all US accredited. It is ECFMG. It's the only medical school that I'm aware of that has the new 2026 ECFMG note, which is fantastic, which is very stringent. They've changed all the ECFMG regulations in 2025, as some of you might know, some of you might not. It also is WDSOM, it's CAMHP, it is NCEOB, it is it's got more accreditations than most medical schools, which is fantastic. And the even better news, and I said you probably won't believe it, we have, believe it or not, 100% USMLE Step 1 pass rate and 100% USMLE Step 2 pass rate. It is very, very well advertised right now, as well as we have 100% US residency match rate and 100% Canadian match rate too. I know you said it was a bit crazy, but you've got to remember, we're a very small medical school. We have limited seats. We take 250 students maximum per year, and it's very, very small, very, very personal. It's very, very boutique, okay? It's not like got the cash, you can come. You've got to have the grade. You've got to go through an interview. Those of you who've tried the UK or Europe or stuff like that, you have an interview process, you've got exams and stuff like that. You do not need exams with us, but you do have to have them. But we have a very, very strong team here in the MENA region. There are 4 people who very much help students, along with how amazing Kadri International is. They will help you too if you're interested. But as I said, it's very, very highly ranked. It's actually the highest ranked as we speak right now in USMLE Step 1. Now, it can go down, obviously. It might not stay like that forever, but it is still pretty much up there. Okay. Now, how do you get residency? Okay, now, I mentioned back at the beginning of the call about the USMLE changing to a pass or a fail. So 2022, so anybody prior to 2022, it was quite easy to go to the US. You could go to, like, in Pakistan, let's say, Aga Khan University, or you could go to IMF in India, or you could go to, crikey, Bacterjee Medical School in Saudi Arabia, or whatever they are here. You could go to all of those then. And then you would take step 1 of the USMLE, and you get a high score, and then you could go and get residency, nice, easy. Okay, 2022, obviously just at the end of COVID, that changed the whole dynamic of the healthcare. We were very fortunate here in the UAE that we were very safe and secure and fast, even with all the craziness going on at the moment around us above our heads, it's still safe. But the healthcare systems in the UK and in the US and in Canada were put under a lot of pressure. You may or may not know the UK changed from the PLAB to the UK MLE, and the licensing exam made sure everybody had to take it. And the US did exactly the same. The US MLE, as I said, changed to a pass or a fail, which changed the whole dynamic about how you get residency into the US. Okay? And that is now a holistic approach. And if you want, and maybe Andrew, you could pop this in the chat, if you want to have a look at it, he can send you the official link, but I've pulled all the data from the link here, and it is nrmp.org, www.nrmp.org. That will show you how to match into residency, but it will tell you this. You need to pass step 1 of the USMLE. We have 100%. You need to pass step 2 of the USMLE. We have 100%. You need clinical performance. Okay, you will get that in your last 2 years. And you may recall I said I would tell you at the end of the call why I'd mentioned those 3 universities are the better ones. Is research is super important, and US research is super times 10 important. Albany is ranked, I think, number 1, number 2 in the US, number 1, I think, in New York State for the research. Canisius is very high, and West Virginia is very high in research. In fact, Goucher Colleges as well, actually, is very good in research. And then you obviously need letters of recommendation from US teaching hospitals. You do not need to go to too many US teaching hospitals. The recommendation is to go to 2 or 3, and we have many more than 2 or 3. So you have plenty of teaching hospitals for you to go and get your letters of recommendation, and then you go into the match. It's the same if you want to go into Canada, but you would need, it's called the CALMS, but you would need to take the OSCE and the MCQE, which is what you can do in the 5th year with us. Okay? But the world wants a US board certified doctor. And with this program, it was basically, it's opened up the opportunity for no longer, that was good English, no longer do you need to do a 4+4. Okay. The other good bit of news, if there are mums and dads on here who are counting pennies, medicine costs money, right? It's a fairly, it's an investment. I would say the UK is not an investment if you're going to spend a lot of money, nearly $500,000 to go and get a degree, if not more, and then not have an outcome. But our program is quite competitive. It's very competitive. The 6-year program is $347,000. Okay, full fees. Okay, but there are scholarships. Most of our students are getting in the undergrad portion between $60,000 to $70,000. And there is also a top-up scholarship that you can get of $40,000. So you can get anything between $50,000, $60,000 up to about $125,000 off that, and into residency and making that kind of cash. All right, which is nice, right? And I think, to be honest with you, dare I say it, this is a little bit outdated. Andrew, we need to change this. It says 2024. I think if you put 2026, go ask ChatGPT, because I think orthopedics is around 600,000 now. Surgeons are around 500,000. So they make a lot of money. But look, it's not all about the money. It is about opportunity, outcome. Where am I going to be able to get the best chance to get the specialty of what I want? And I will challenge you to look anywhere apart from the US. And this is a very good option for you guys if you do want to go that way, because it's accelerated, it's fast, it's very high success rate, highly ranked. And that is my presentation, guys. So look, I am very happy to unshare my screen. And I think this would be the right opportunity to ask me whatever question you would like. Off we go. Far away.
Do you actually already have one in the chat, Sebastian?
Yeah, so thank you very much, Mr. Sebastian. It was a very detailed presentation. We'll move on to the Q&A session now. And students, as discussed before, there should be a button at the center bottom of your screen that says Q&A, so you can type your questions in. We can start with the first question by Anne. Anne will be giving the NEET exam in 1 month. Does she still have to give the MSAT to get into the university, or will the NEET marks be enough?
Don't need NEET. You don't need NEET with us.
Okay.
So NEET, just so you're aware, NEET is for India. Okay? A US medical school would not require you to take NEET. So just your grades. Hopefully they're good. Probably CBSE if you're going for NEET, right?
Next question. What visa would they need after the residency in order to practice in the US?
Okay, very good question. Okay, so once you do, so residency, you're given either, dependent on the hospital, you're given what is called a J1 visa or an H1B visa, depend on the hospital. It depends what they issue. And that is basically what that's the visa. It's more often it's a J1 visa. And that will take you for residency, your job, and then obviously if you apply for a green card, it's up to you, you know, whatever you want to do in your future, it's good. But what I will tell you is these programs have been designed because America is at critical stage at about 130,000 doctors short. They reckon by 2030. So these ones, they would want you to stay. You don't have to. You don't have to. A US board certified opens up the whole world to you. But yeah, so you can read between the lines there. Might well give you a passport quickly. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah, next question is by Anne. Since she's a CBSE student, what percentage is usually needed to be competitive for scholarships, and what else would you look at beside the marks?
Yeah, that's a really good question. That's a fantastic question. So look, CBSE students. So we have, I'd say if you went under 75%, you would not get a seat. All right. And that there would be one university that would give you a seat at 75, and that would be Virginia Wesleyan. Because it's an applied science entry. Okay. If you want the good ones like Albany, Canisius, Goucher, those ones, you would need to have a good, strong 80, 85 CBSE to get into the strong ones. Okay. The reason we have 6, 7 of them is one of them is a bit lower graded, but the stronger ones have got the better research and everything like that. You'd need 80, 85 on CBSE. And what else do you need? Look, we're very aware that in this region, you don't have a lot of opportunity to do things like doctor shadowing and extracurriculars and stuff like that, but you need a good personal statement. Andrew and his team are very, very good, and I'm very happy to read your personal statements and help you. Good personal statement, good, strong letters of recommendation from your teachers, so don't abuse them too much. Be nice to them. And an interview, and the interview is very important, okay? But you get trained by a team member in the UAE on the interview. We would not put you through to the interview until your person at the university is 100% satisfied and you are comfortable enough to get through the interview. Because if you get to an interview stage, then academically, you're good. And the interview is just that last little piece. So we try to really make sure that you get through the interview. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. Next.
All right. Question by Sultan. How to increase chances of scholarships?
Good grades.
Okay.
We award, look, so for example, and I tell you that, so all of our students take the MCAT after the second year, right? All of our students will score 500. If you score 500, which they all do, you get a $40,000 increase in scholarship from the original 40, 50. So that's up to 90. If you get 510 on the MCAT, you'll get another $75,000. So good grades. But look, do an application if you like it, and then we can work out a financial plan and stuff like that for you. So you could be paying as little as about 150,000. No, 160,000 over a 6-year period, which is maybe cheaper than Europe, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Next question.
All right. Do the students get to practice on cadavers?
No,
Okay.
that went out. Sorry, not in the US, no. But we got an amazing. So they're not like proper cadavers, no. I mean, it's health and safety nowadays. I don't think you will not get in the US anyone working on real cadavers now. Yeah, you might get them in Eastern Europe. I don't know. Dr. Kadri knows more about that. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure the UK you don't as well anymore. No. Can't.
All right. Next question is about the living cost. How much would that look like?
Yeah, really good question. So, the US, you live on campus, like US high school movies, some of you have seen, I'm sure. The food, accommodation plan, there's a food meal plan, everything like that. It's not too bad. It's like $1,200 a month. That's in the US. The little bit in WASM is about $700 a month. And in the clinicals, probably about $500 a month.
All right. So how much, next question basically. So how much would be the tuition fee per year? And does this change each year or does it stay the same?
No, it stays the same. It stays the same. So dependent on your scholarship, you know, you can pay $35,000, $40,000. It just depends on your scholarship.
All right. What next question is by Harshini. What is the requirement for a US high school diploma student?
Okay, US high school diploma student, if it's an international answer, which will be, Andrew, what is it, 85?
Yeah, about 85. Depends if it's on a GPA of 4 as well. If it's a GPA out of 4, it's about 3.4, 3.5.
No, 3.7, 3.8.
3.7, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, 90%, about 80, between 85 and 90%.
Yeah.
80, if it's a little bit under, you'd go to the Virginia Western.
Yeah, we've got IB as well. So that's, what was it? IB is 29 or
32.
32.
Okay. For the first year, do the students have to clear the entire tuition or is it paid installments?
No. Okay, they're already, no, 100% no. So there are 17 payments. It's broken down into 17 payments. And it's good to keep to the payment plan the first year. And then we can work out a payment structure for you.
All right. Anne is asking, is it easy to find internships or part-time jobs during the studies?
It's easy, yes. If you have time, not sure.
All right. Nafisa is asking, what are the admission requirements for students studying in American international schools in Saudi Arabia, in terms of IELTS, SAT score, GPA, and any other?
Okay, yeah, so pretty much the same as what I said there, about 85 to 90 GPA. IELTS, depending on your passport, it's 6, a 6.0 in IELTS. We do Duolingo. It's 115 on Duolingo. What was the other piece? APs. Yeah, but I don't know why the Middle East, and especially in Saudi, they'd make you do APs in grade 11. If you did an AP in grade 11 and you got under a 5, don't submit it.
All right. Next question is, can the students practice in the UAE after graduation?
After residency, yes, 100%. In fact, they'll roll a red carpet out for you to come back to the UAE. Yes, 100%, yes. With a UK one, no.
All right. So we have answered the open questions. Let's see if there's anything else the students would like to ask.
No problem at all. Let me just I tell you what, if you wish, I'll put my telephone number. I've got a Dubai number in the chat. Please, if you do message me directly, please make sure you tell me that you're on this Cadre event, because I have an agreement with them where you get a special scholarship, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So I'll put my is that my number?
I've just put mine, and I'll just put yours in as well, Sebastian.
Yeah, chuck mine
Okay,
in
I
there
will
as well.
share this in the chat then.
And there's
Chuck
another
mine in
question that's popped up as well there, my friend.
All right, tell me.
So how do us as a university help with the USMLE prep?
Oh,
Great
well, we have
question.
100% 1 and 100% 2 USMLE. So we have, as I said, very, very small classroom sizes. You do mock USMLE. Do you remember in the video? The second number is mine, the 1864. It's on a timer. The USMLE is on a timer. So it's USMLE 1 is a multiple. I was about to say guess, multiple choice. As you do USMLE training sessions, you have, as I said, these small classroom sizes that puts you practicing and everything like that. So yeah, so it's very, very, a lot of support. I mean, look, you've seen the figures. I mean, you can go on the website, you can look at it, you can look at all the match. It's very, very well advertised about our USMLE and match rates of 100% both. So yeah, super trained, super trained.
All
In a very
right.
small environment.
Yeah, so I have already shared the contact details, and I'm also going to
Yeah,
be
I saw that, Zara.
sharing-
Thanks so much. So yeah,
Okay.
my number's there. I'm obviously Mr. Sebastian, or you can just call me Sebastian.
Yes.
And Kadri's, Dr. Kadri and Zara and the team are there, and their email address. But look, guys, super, super happy to do a one-on-one. As I said, I live in Dubai. Andrew lives in Dubai. Unfortunately, when you have a title like Vice President next to your name of Global, I'm on an airplane more than I'm in Dubai. But I'm in Dubai now until the 18th of April. So for the next 3 weeks, subject to weather, missiles. I'm very happy to come and meet you and meet parents and everything like that. And for those of you who are here, I know there's a couple of people in Saudi. I think some of those people, you know, the team goes to Saudi a lot as well. We have a lot of students. And as I said, applications are still open for those of you who might be graduating this year and want this as another option to see if you can get an offer. So yeah, reach out. I'm here.
And we can organise one-on-one sessions for those in Saudi as well. Do some of the things. Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
All right, so I think
Brilliant.
this is where we can wrap up the session then. And once again, students, if there's anything you'd like to get in touch, you can obviously refer to the contact details. This session was also recorded, and the live video will be available on our YouTube channel. So for that, you could get in touch with us once again. And with that, I think we can wrap up the session. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Mr. Andrew and Mr. Sebastian as well.
Thank you, guys. Well, look, be safe. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Thanks for listening, and reach out if any of you need any advice or help. Don't mind whether you come to our school at all. It's up to you. But even if you need advice, very happy to help.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Sebastian. And then thank you, everybody, for joining this session.
Thanks, Dr.
Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Appreciate it. And with it all, thank you for the time.